Welcome to another stock analysis video performed by MajesticTrader.com, where active traders seek greater profits. So let's begin. Hi everybody, this is Rod Lang with MajesticTrader.com. Happy New Year! We're going to do our year-end review of the S&P 500 and our market leaders and prepare you for the following week, which is January 2nd, the first week of the 2012 trading year. And one of the things that we could see here is that we did break out of this compression pennant here to the upside, but because we had very anemic volume this week, really didn't go anywhere. Nobody was really giving up shares. Not many people were acquiring shares. People were pretty satisfied with their positions. We traded pretty much flat on the entire year, and we traded right at the 200-day moving average. And one of the things that we're expecting was to hit this target range here of 1300 to 1325, which we didn't hit. This down move here in the beginning of December and some of the European uncertainty really hurt the momentum that we have from the end of November. Because of that, we really didn't get our momentum move to this range. So what are we looking for? First couple of weeks of January, we're still looking for this target range here at 1300 to 1325, and then it's all up to Europe, folks. We have a lot of economic news coming up this week domestically, including the unemployment number this Friday, January 6th. But we have a lot of other, economic numbers that, should prove to be positive for the market. Then we have corporate earnings throughout the rest of January. And a lot of people are expecting corporate earnings to be in line, perhaps even beat a little bit to the upside, perhaps not as much as the previous two quarters, but we shall see. Europe is really the big uncertainty here, folks, and we get some negative news here by mid-January. We could see the 1150 level here again very, very quickly before we see another bounce up. If we get some positive news out of Europe or even some average news out of Europe, we'll probably be range bound here between 1100 to 1250. 1150 to 1200 on the low end and 1300 to 1350 on the high end, probably throughout the entire year. So we'll have to see where it goes. It's going to be very tough to try and pick some major winners this year. When I'm talking about major winners, I'm talking about big trending stocks throughout the entire year. What we're going to be looking for here is some good target one, maybe some good target two moves. Take profits off the table, be happy with those profits, and move on to the next trade. For those of you that are investors, that are going to hold it a little bit longer, you probably want to look for some good dividend plays. We've actually given some really good dividend plays in our newsletter over the last 3 weeks when we did our 2012 forecast and predictions. So for the next couple of weeks, we're looking at the 1300, 1325 level, then perhaps a pullback again to the 1250 level. So we'll have to see here what happens with some economic news, corporate earnings, and Europe over the next couple of weeks. So now we're moving on to our market leaders, and we're looking at ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil tried to break new highs, but had a very tough time this past week with the low volume. So we're looking for it to move higher here, maybe 2 to 3 points to the $87 level over the next couple of weeks. Apple broke 400 and stayed there this week, and obviously had low volume. This steady average volume decline here is a little disturbing. A lot of analysts have come out with a 500 to 550 price target, which isn't unreasonable for its fundamentals, but we'll have to see what kind of a volume it has to really push through to the 410, 415 area. IBM has been a Dow leader here over the last year and broke new highs in late November and pulled back. Now it just kind of hung around here in extremely low volume this past week. We'll have to see if it can break through to that 190 level here in January. Looking at the Microsoft chart, we're not really seeing a lot of stock movement here. We're seeing this nice, steady, slow, meandering uptrend. And we don't think that you're going to see any major price movements up or down here on Microsoft over the next couple of months, unless there's some real big news, and we're not really sure what that's going to be yet. Perhaps Ballmer might step down. We'll have to see what happens. So don't expect big things out of Microsoft. Walmart made new highs here, very impressive. Even on this low volume, as you can see here, the last week of the year, we think Walmart goes higher over the next couple of weeks before a pullback, and pretty much will be range bound between 56 and 59 throughout the first few months of the year. Chevron is working its way back to 108, which was our target here for year end. Pulled back on low volume, was not surprising. Google hit our target. We were calling 640 to 645 here since mid-November, and it hit it dead on this past week. So that was one of our better calls here. If some of you took that either in equity or in options. Procter and Gamble. Nice steady uptrend here. Has a bunch of resistance supply areas it's got to try and get through. We think that Procter and Gamble will pretty much trade range bound between 65 and 68 here for the first 3 months of the year until we get some type of a confirmed uptrend and some good news out of Europe. American Telephone, AT&T, letter T. Terrific price action here since mid-December. We look for it to go a little bit higher up into this supply resistance area here to about 30.50, pull back before it takes its next leg higher. We think to 31.50 by the middle to the end of Q1. Let's take a look at GE. If you remember back here, GE announced a dividend increase, had a nice run up to about 18.30, pulled back a little bit, kind of flatlined here with the last week of the year in volume. We look for GE to go higher. We think GE could probably go up to 19 be by the end of January, early February. Next chart is Coke, KO. We look at Coke being under a lot of pressure here. If you take a look at some of these candlesticks here, these are very bearish. And when you see candlesticks like that at the top of an uptrend, we think there's going to be a pullback. Pullback where? It could stop and bounce up at around 69. We think it'll pull back further, possibly to the 67 dollar area here over the next month. It might even hit 70 before it pulls back, but we think it pulls back to the $67 level before it tries to find which direction it's going to go, up or down. And if it goes down, we're looking at 65 as target 2 on the downside. McDonald's. Keep eating burger, smoothies, coffee. McDonald's just keeps wanting to go higher, folks. So we're looking for McDonald's to probably pull back to the trend line before it goes higher. It might even pull back to this trend line here to the $95.50, $96 area before it goes higher. McDonald's was the best performing stock this year in the Dow. There's a good chance it'll probably be a top 5 going into 2012. CAT, Caterpillar. Caterpillar struggled here since mid-October, pretty much range-bound between $85 and $98. Right now, we're looking for Caterpillar to go up to this $98 level with a low end here, a low range here of around 85. We think it'll come back up and at least retest the $97, $98 level by mid-January. Home Depot's been in a very nice channel. We look for it to come down to the bottom of the channel before it goes higher to the 43.25 level. Transportations has looked pretty good, and we truly believe that the transportations are poised for a breakout. If you could see here, we have this nice ascending triangle formation, and we took the measured move from here to where the plateau of the triangle is, and we have a target here of 55.43.50 on the transportations. What we're looking for here, this volume is not a good sign, but we want to kind of throw that out because that was the last 2 weeks of the year. So what we want to see here is if we can get some really good volume the first 2 weeks, not even the first week, but the first 2 weeks of January with the transportations, and it could break through this level here at 5,100, we believe it can go towards the 5,500 level by the middle of Q2 2012. So that's our review for the week of January 2nd. If you're interested in trying out our newsletter and you haven't gotten a copy yet, go to our website at majestictrader.com. In the upper right-hand corner, click the button that says Request Newsletter, and we'll be more than happy to send you a sample. Until next week, if you have any questions, please contact us through our website. Have a great day, everybody, and good luck trading.
Thank you for attending another MajesticTrader.com's stock chart analysis. Visit our website to request one of our newsletters. Go to our website at www.majestictrader.com. In the upper right-hand corner, put in your email address and your name, and we'll send you out a copy. Once you become a member, you'll have access to complete trade performance, all stock analysis videos, archived newsletters, and midweek alerts that are trading ideas. We'll send those out to you via email. Again, thank you for attending.